Hey, what's going on, everyone? This hitter looking at the LOL and KBO picks for tomorrow morning. Had a killer day yesterday in KBO. Also, LOL cashed. Made it a 4 out of 4 night. But KBO would put up a 186 on DraftKings. Like top five in the big $15, $12 tournament that they had. Took down the single entry stuff, $5, $12, all the double ups. It's a killer day. Jose Fernandez, Wang, Bay, Sungbum Na, mixture of all the good plays that I liked. Posted my picks here, like I always do, the core plays, and if you got the stuff on the website, obviously you crushed it. So looking to keep it going today. KBO also, LOL also cashed as well on both. So looking to keep it rolling today. So let's get right into it. Appreciate it. Hit the like on the video and subscribe if you have not already. If you want to join the team, you can visit the website, dfsprocess.net. And let's get started here. Start with the LOL side on DraftKings. So 4 game slate, I like these 4 game slates a lot more than the 2 game slates. 4 games, we have DRX as your most expensive team. I think the DRX Dynamics game is going to be interesting. I don't have a ton of confidence in either side, but I think a lot of people might just stack DRX. But Dynamics has always been underdogs in a lot of these games, but they have been proving people wrong. They're 7-3 to start out. Remember that they weren't even in the LOL last split. They won the Midsummer or whatever Classic and got in. So they're looking good. I'm not sure if I want to get a ton of exposure to DRX. I like AF to win against Hanoa Life Sports. Just like the Hanoa Eagles, they are awful. They are 2-8 so far this split. Africa Freezes is 5-5. They have faced a couple of tough opponents recently, DRX and T1. I think they'll get back into the winning ways against Hanoa Life Sports. And then I like OMG. They got off to a really bad start, but they've been cooking wins against LNG, DMO. They won 1 game against TES, which is impressive. And they started off the season really bad, but recently they've been playing well. It's another soft matchup for them against Rogue Warriors, who are 1-10. Last game they had 1 win against JDG. Before that they had lost every game. I think that they will continue to lose tonight against OMG. OMG is just looking better, and Rogue Warriors gives up a ton of kills. So I like AF and OMG a lot, and then I think JDG, although WE can be scary and they can more than capable of pulling off an upset. So if I had to just have the most confidence in my picks, I would probably stack OMG and AF. So at captain, I usually like to get the mids or ADCs at captain. Sometimes I go with the jungler just because if I'm stacking 2 teams, sometimes it's impossible to stack using the AD carry or the mid laner. But right now, I think that I will probably go with SMLZ over on OMG. It is a great matchup against Rogue Warriors. They give up a ton of kills, and SMLZ has been playing pretty well recently. 3 games of 10 plus assists, got close to getting a 10-10 game last time out. I think there's a chance that he can get you 80, 90 fantasy points tonight in a very good matchup against the Rogue Warriors. Next up, at jungler, I like Spirit over on AF. He's only 7,000. Been playing pretty well this entire year. He's had a couple of huge games, especially in the assist category. 28 assist game against Team Dynamics, 20 against Sandbox. Last time they lost against DRX, but still was okay with 9 assists. Not a huge guy getting kills, but averaging 4 on the year. But really, the assists are usually always there for him, and it's a great matchup against Hanoa Life Sports. So give me Spirit at 7,000 as a jungler. Next up, at mid, I like Icon. I like the Icon SMLZ stack. Icon is very cheap, only 7,000. And he also has big time upside. In wins, he's going to kill. In losses, he's probably going to just, like a lot of these players in losses, he's not going to do much. But if they win, he's usually a big factor of why in racking up kills and assists. And I think that they should easily win. Rogue Warriors, they've been looking pretty good recently. And then I'd probably go with at ADC, I like Mystic at just 7,600. I think that's really, really cheap. Also is pretty good at getting kills and assists. Can get you that 10-10. Upside to get you over 100 fantasy points at a $7,600 price is very nice. So I like these 4 a ton. I'm probably just going to stack them. If I had to pick a third team, probably would be like DRX, although it's a little bit scary against Dynamics because they are more than capable of winning. And then we'll go over to the DraftKings KBO for tonight. It's looking pretty, not as great as yesterday's, I would say. Yesterday, I kind of knew exactly what teams I wanted to stack. Today, there's one team that jumps off the page, and that's the Deucin side against Young Gun Joe. He is just awful. 18 innings, 4 home runs given up. He has 13 walks, just 8 strikeouts. The Deucin side should crush. You look at the pitchers going today, you have a couple of poor pitchers, but not really, just like one really bad pitcher. Then you have a couple of decent pitchers and then some good pitchers in tough matchups. So pitching wise, I am probably going with like Sappold here at 8,500 against Kia. He is starting to look good in his last 3 starts. They were all really, really tough opponents. KT Wiz, the best offense, one of the best offenses. All three of these offenses are great. KT Wiz, Dinos, and the Bears. And he put up a very good game in all three. Now he gets to face a much weaker team in Kia at 8,500 with there being like Straley's facing off against the Dinos. That's scary. Casey Kelly is awful at times, and he's facing off against the Wiz, which are very, very scary offensively. So I feel good about going with Sapple to 8,500. And then I'd probably go with like Minwoo Lee on the other side of this game, just because he's facing the Eagles. They had a heartbreaking loss last night again, blowing a lead in the ninth inning. This team is just done. And he's also finally gets to face an easy opponent. He's faced, just like Sapple, he's faced Deucin, KT Wiz, and the Dinos in his last 3 starts. Did not fare as well, but goes from the hardest matchup to the easiest matchup. I think he'll be fine. So I like these two pitchers quite a bit, and then stack wise, I like the Deucin side as the top stack of the slate. You can go with the Kia or the Kiwoom side as well. I like the Lodi Giants a little bit against Jay Hackley just because he gives up runs and hits and doesn't strike people out. I like the KT Wiz quite a bit. And I think you could go with some LG hitters. I don't have too much interest in the bats in the other games. So that's kind of it, but I would probably rank it Deucin, KT Wiz, uh, Lodi, Kiwoom, and then LG. First base, J2O is too cheap at 4,100. It is a great matchup. He is a tremendous hitter. He's missed a lot of time due to injury, but now that he's healthy, he's looking great. And 4,100 is too cheap for the best stack of the night. Second base, Jose Fernandez was great to us last night, and I'm hoping he can be great to us again. 6,000 is expensive, but he is one of the best hitters in the KBO. 396 average, 8 bombs. Great matchup. Looks to be a tremendous play. And then in the outfield, I like Baiko Kang. He's just too cheap. Should not be 5,200. He is one of the best young hitters in the league. He has tremendous power. He's also missed a lot of time with injuries, but in 34 games, he has 31 RBIs and 11 home runs. Only 25 strikeouts, 2 in 131 at bats, which is below like under 20% K rate. So he looks great. It's a matchup against Casey Kelly, who can be bad at times and can be good at times, but he's been bad more times than he's been good this year, and he's facing off against one of the hottest offenses right now. So I'll take my chances with Kang, especially if they're not going to be popular today again. And then I like Jong Don Bay from the KT Wiz just because he's so cheap always, and he bats like right at the top of the order. So at 2,700, you're getting a guy that hits for high average, has power, a little bit of power, and has some speed as well. So I think he looks to be like a good value play at 2,700 in the outfield. He's been recently he's 2 home runs in his last 10 games, batting 244. But overall, at 2,700, you don't need him to do much, and more than capable of having a great game. So that's the DraftKings picks for this evening. I will switch over to FanDuel now. Okay, we'll start with the KBO side on FanDuel. Pitching wise, I have a lot of interest going cheap on FanDuel pitcher. We have Warwick Sappold at just $23, which looks great. You have the Samsung pitcher at $22. Looks good there too. And you have the Kia pitcher at $24 against Hanawa. I like probably Sappold just because I think he might be a little bit lower owned. But he's been pitching great recently, and I think it's a good matchup for him. Preston Tucker's been in a rut, so hopefully he can stay in a rut one more game. But Sappold is pretty safe with some upside. And then stack wise, I like the same guys that I mentioned on the DraftKings side. Infield, I would go Jose Fernandez, go with Huang, who never gets a ton of ownership. Maybe we'll get some today. But Huang at just $11, I think looks incredible. He is a streaky player, but right now he's on a very, very good killer hot streak with 3 out of his last 4 games over 35 fantasy points. Was great to us yesterday, and I will go back to the well with him at a cheap price point. And then in the util spot, I will probably go with J2O, who's $15, looks good, uh, as always at that price point. I like the juice inside is the top stack for me. Going with Fernandez and Jo and going with the cheap guy in Huang with so much upside feels like a pretty good starting point. So that's the picks that I like on FanDuel. And then last but not least, the LOL side for FanDuel. Pretty much the same deal. I like AF and OMG just because I feel confident that they will win. And then I would probably mix in some maybe if you need a third team on FanDuel, as always, like the JDG side or Dragon X. But I like these two, AF and OMG, a little bit more. So we'll start at captain. I probably will go with SMLZ again. AD carry at captain is rare, but you can easily do that today on FanDuel because OMG and AF are pretty cheap. At jungler, I like Spirit, 8,400. Mid, go back to Icon, who's only 8,500. That's incredibly cheap for Icon, who's been playing great recently. And then probably go back to Mystic at ADC. So pretty much the same plays as I have on DraftKings, but I like all 4 of these. These still have 7,900 left. So that's it for the video. Thank you for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed, and good luck this evening.